boxing in general is getting a plus with these two fighting, but UK boxing is going to skyrocket just from these two fighting. Conor Benn hits hard. He's a great body puncher as well. He's also a combination puncher. Even though Chris Eubank Jr. is bigger than Conor Benn, I feel like Chris Eubank Jr. is faster than Conor Benn. I feel like in terms of one-punch knockout power, I feel like Chris Eubank Jr. has more one-punch knockout power. But if Conor Benn even suspects that you're hurt, not necessarily that you are hurt, if he suspects that you're hurt, he's going in for a kill. And there's not going to be too much that you can do to stop him. Or you would just have to stop him. Like in that moment, you're going to have to lay it all down and actually put him down. So overall, just in terms of a fight fan watching fights, this is an amazing fight. Again, I just wish there was a tune-up fight for Conor Benn because honestly, I just feel like the way he fights and his aggression, and I just know because of who he's fighting, he'll be even more emotional. I've always that's the other critique I've always had with Conor Benn. He's way too emotional, and I feel like fighting Chris Eubank Jr. would just bring out that emotion. Would literally just bring out that emotion. I feel like the press conference. Then I feel like the fathers. I feel like, overall, us, the fans, and of course the press, I feel like it would just make it like, you got to do this. You got to beat this guy. He acts just like his dad. He's just as annoying as his dad. He's just as arrogant as his dad. You got to put the nail in the coffin. You got to be that guy. And not to say that I don't think he can carry the pressure. I think he is built for pressure. But I think pressure mixed with emotion, mixed with the way he fights, might be a downfall. That's what I think. I think it could lead to a downfall. Chris Eubank Jr. is a great counterpuncher, and he does not mind getting up close and personal and mixing it up. And if you're going to get in his face, you better be ready 150% mentally and physically conditioned to put him down. He's not going to back up. And he has great athletic ability where he can maneuver out of the way and still land a devastating knockout to you. He's done it a few times. In his last fight, he literally fought a guy with one arm, and he put him down with the one arm. So, two healthy arms, probably in the best shape of his fighting career. He has in his corner Roy Jones. That's a lot to take on. And he's the son of Chris Eubank Sr. Let's be honest. His dad was an amazing fighter. So you put all that together. I'm not saying Conor doesn't have a chance. He definitely has a chance. But he's got to make it a brawl. He's got to make it a brawl. You know what? Scratch that. I don't feel like he should make that a brawl. I feel like he needs to keep it at distance. I know he doesn't like to play this type of game, but I feel like he needs to play it safe. I feel like he needs to work off the jab, and I feel like he needs to work from a distance. I think that all that composure that he's been learning over the past few fights, I think this is a perfect time for all of that to come together and be composed. Go the distance, and if you see any cracks, any openings, then you go for it. But I don't think he needs to be up in the face of Chris Eubank Jr. Number one, he's bigger than you. Number two, he is harder than you. Number three, I really do think he's faster than you. And number four, if you get up in his face, you better be ready to put him down. And I don't believe he's been put down. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, somebody please let me know in the comments. But I don't believe Chris Eubank Jr. has been down. Conor Benn has been down. With guys who don't have half the punching power of Chris Eubank Jr. So I think the best thing to do is play it safe. I don't want to say make it a boring fight, but I will say fight off that jab. Fight off that jab and move. Do not stand still. Do not stand still like you do, Conor Benn. Do not stand still and just try to bob and weave something and then return fire. You hit, you move. You hit, you move. That's the way you do it. Take him to the deep water, although Chris has been there several times, but still take him to the deep water and then test him out. I say go to an early body attack as well.